This is LBC with Tom Swarbrick. Call 0345 6060 973. Tweet at LBC. Text 84850.
Should leaseholds be banned totally? Would that not work? In what way would that not work? And how is it working if you are one when it comes to the costs? Because you've got one major house builder today saying, actually, yeah, hands up, we were trying to rip people off. Melanie's in Barnet to kick us off. Melanie.
Oh, hello. I've had a lot of experience with very bad managing agents. I think the managing agents are the ones who are doing the daily things like cleaning, employing gardeners, and other things, who are doing it or who should be doing it. But most of the time we've had changes of managing agents like 3 or 4 times in the building that I've lived in. And the latest ones in the last, say, 8 years have been managing agents from hell, I would say. They are
it's a good TV show title, Managing Agents from Hell.
Every opportunity to get as much money from us, and this comes in the form of them employing their own friends.
Oh, really?
So no competition. They charge whatever they want.
Can I go, Melanie? Do you mind? Sorry to interrupt. Can I go back to that? So, can you describe what are your living arrangements at the moment?
I live in a leasehold flat.
In a block of flats.
Block of flats, yes.
How long have you lived there?
More than 20 years.
And you've paid off the mortgage, or you've still got the mortgage?
I have paid off the mortgage. So I also have a clause in my lease whereby my ground rent doubles every 25 years. So it's not every 10 years,
and
every 20.
Do you mind me asking how much you're paying in ground rent
at the moment? Is 125. 150. But in a couple of years it will be 300, and then after that, I suppose 25 years is a long time. I'm not too bothered about the ground rent itself because it's still relatively low. But the most problems that I and my fellow leaseholders experience is this service charge where you don't have any say.
Yeah.
You don't anything. They employ people and they charged enormous amounts, and they probably share this profit.
Yeah. So what do you get out of that? That money that you're paying in service charges, what are you meant to get? Cleaning, services for the communal bits of the building?
Maintenance,
right.
Roof works and so on. But can I just give you one example of something that happened nearly 2 years ago, where they wanted to redo our roof, the repairs. And the managing agent, lady, she has a friend and a neighbour who she put in charge of gathering quotes from 3 builders. In fact, it turned out that he was they were fictitious. 2 other people are fictitious. He was just making out quotes so that he could get as much money as possible, like in comparison to be the lowest quote of them all. And when this was found out, somehow they removed him. But a fellow leaseholder went to the ombudsman, and the ombudsman was completely useless because the evidence was overwhelming about the fraud that was going to be perpetrated. Eventually, because then we took them to the tribunal, and eventually the price that this guy was going to charge for the room was reduced by 100%.
Oh, really?
So instead of 100,000, in the end it was for 50,000. So we saved ourselves £50,000 by going to the tribunal, even though we didn't win. We wanted to remove them, but we couldn't. Because the tribunals, what I have found from Leasehold Advisory Service, that they usually support the landlord, the leaseholder.
But Melanie, what I don't understand, because I'm thick, is you pay less of a mortgage as a proportion of the overall cost of the flat because you're a leaseholder. Then you would be if you...
The mortgage doesn't have anything to do with the ground rent or the service charges. The mortgage is...
Yeah, but what I don't understand is, so I am paying off my mortgage on my house.
Yes.
I don't pay ground rent or service charge or anything of that nature, and the streets outside, the bins are collected. I paid my council tax, but
yes.
Why would a system be set up where you would have to pay over and above your mortgage for living in the property that is yours?
Because there are, say in our case, there are 40 flats, and they each share a roof. There's 4 blocks of flats. They need gardens to be maintained, some repairs, and this is all done from the same budget. Because you have no say. You absolutely are completely helpless. It's just somebody above you decides what needs to be done, what they would done, and how much.
But they could decide on anything. They could decide on making you pay, for the cost of insurance for some outlandish freak incident.
Yeah, I mean, there is a way, you can go to the tribunal, but as I said, it's a very complicated and costly procedure. For example, when you go to a tribunal, you have to prepare all the evidence, and you have to prepare these papers, bundles for all the people, for like 5 members of the tribunal and the others. So in the end, like in our case, we had to prepare some 40 bundles for everybody,
Melanie,
and it's all costly and complicated. And in the end, we didn't really win, even though it was overwhelming evidence that our managing agents were no good.
Yeah, it just sounds not only costly, tiresome, incredibly stressful and unfair. Listen, Melanie, thank you very much indeed for the call.